Hey everyone, my name's Neil Milton. I'm the General Manager of ChildSafe, and I am with the incredible Kayelen Kerr. She's the founder of ESafe Kids, an organisation that's about equipping, educating and empowering children and parents to have those tricky conversations about the tricky topics. Kayleen, thanks so much for joining us. Today, we're going to be talking about public and private behaviours. Now, this is really, really important, especially coming up to Christmas. Talk about this particular topic to us today.
Thanks, Neil. Thanks for having me again today. So we're going to talk today about public and private behaviours. Now, this fits really well in the context of the other videos that we've done. So if you haven't seen those, please go back and check them out. But within protective behaviours or body safety, child abuse prevention education, we teach children about public and private. And one of the topic areas within that is public and private behaviours. This is where we talk to children about the things that, that we might do in public, and then there are behaviours that ideally are private. Now, traditionally, when we talk about private behaviours, I hear lots of people talk about farting and burping and nose picking are private behaviours, and we try and keep those in a private place or space. If you've got young children, you'll know that that is a repeated conversation. But I started to get a lot of questions a couple of years ago from parents about, my child is always touching their own private parts, and how do I manage that conversation without, shaming the child about something that is a normal part of human development. So I would say that there's a really easy way that we can do this. So private behaviours are those that we do in a private place or space. So if we're going to touch our own private parts, that's okay, but it's important that we do that in a private place or a private space. And private places and spaces in homes are usually the bedroom, perhaps the bathroom or the toilet area. So oftentimes when parents see their children touching their private parts, they can find that a little bit confronting. Sometimes they just don't know how to have a conversation, and invariably what they may say is that's rude or that's gross or don't do that, without clarifying that for the child. So simply, you know what, we're in a public place, because at the moment I'm in this lounge room and this is not a private space. Our house might be private, but while I'm here in the lounge room, this is public and you're touching your own private parts. So I would appreciate it if you would just do that in a private place. So that's a way that we can talk to our kids about touching their own private parts without making them feel like they're bad or they're doing something rude or shaming them. Children touch their own private parts, some from shortly after birth. It is a normal stage of human development and human sexual development. Oftentimes when children are touching their own private parts, it might be because it feels nice, but oftentimes it can be to soothe. It can be something that they do. It's absent-minded, like chewing nails or twirling hair. So if we see our children doing this, sometimes we just have to sort of stop ourselves from putting a sexual connotation or overtone on it. It's probably not sexual at all. It's just that it feels nice, or the child's doing it without even realizing it. So we can just gently remind them, you're touching your own private parts. That's a private behavior. Let's just make sure that you're doing that in a private space. I hope that makes sense, Neil. There's some great books for this particular topic. If you have seen My Underpants Rule by Kate Power, this is a really great one for giving children underpants rules, and it talks about what's under your pants is only for you. And this one, I've done a full reading of it on my Facebook page and YouTube channel with Kate's permission. So that's a great book to help parents out with that conversation.
Excellent, fantastic. Hey, thanks so much for sharing that. That's such good advice. And as parents, such an important conversation, because sometimes we can read into things that just aren't there. And we just want to be really good parents. So thank you so much for that. That is absolutely fantastic.
No problem.
See you again soon.
See you soon.